Welcome back to our Proactive Studios. I'm Natalie Stoberman, joined by the CEO of Generation Hemp, Gary Evans. Gary, how's it going?
Great. Thank you for having me on the show today, Natalie.
So great to have you on, Gary. And Generation Hemp, the company does have a presence in the crypto space, but could you elaborate more about what exactly that presence is like?
So Generation Hemp is actually the largest midstream hemp processor in the U.S. And we started looking at Bitcoin about a year ago. And what kind of led us to that is that we have a significant amount of excess biomass from our process. And we learned that we could burn biomass in boilers to generate heat and steam to make electricity for Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin is a huge electric user. And so that's what kind of led us into the Bitcoin space. We actually started working with one of the largest resellers of Bitcoin out of Massachusetts. And so, having been in the oil and gas business my entire life, there's a lot of similarities, believe it or not, to Bitcoin and oil and gas. And you go, well, how is that? Well, if you're going to set up a mining site or a location, you got to lease the land or buy the land. Instead of drilling a well, you're building into a substation where you get electricity. So there's a lot of similarities into what I've done for 35 years to the Bitcoin space. So obviously it's a volatile business. You've seen prices, go to 70,000, hanging around 17,000 today. Same thing with oil and gas. When I started in the business, it got down to $11 a barrel, went to 122, and natural gas from 20 cents to $9. So that volatility of the key component of your business is something I've been dealing with my entire life. So that makes me more, I think, cognizant of when to get in and when to get out. The people I know in the oil and gas business made the most money by getting in at the right time and getting out at the right time. And so that's what has led us to look at Bitcoin as a great investment opportunity today.
It almost seems like a natural fit to slide into crypto for you at Generation Hemp, but timing is everything. And right now, this crypto winter has definitely led to a ton of volatility in this crypto market. How do you see this volatility that we're seeing right now perhaps affect the company's plans of enhancing its presence in the space?
Well, nobody can deny that crypto investments have taken a beating this year, as has the stock market and many other things. But that's really been led by the leveraged lending that led to billions of Bitcoin being dumped on the market because of the unraveling of bankruptcies and what have you. So selling in any business creates more selling. Same thing with the oil and gas business historically. More selling creates more selling. So I've actually been completely amazed that Bitcoin has held up so well in this 16, 17, $18,000 per coin range. And that's what gives me belief that the strength in the actual cryptocurrency is definitely solidifying. We're seeing a kind of a cultural change that makes the sector much stronger. The young internet guys that are the wheeler dealers that are really all part of these bankruptcies that don't have any financial experience, any risk management experience, because they, quite frankly, aren't old enough to have gone through the bumps that those of us in our 60s have. So they're getting weeded out, and you're seeing more and more institutional involvement getting into crypto, which gives me a lot of comfort that there's going to be significant demand going forward.
Yes, and I mean, it doesn't come without its challenges too, especially with recent bankruptcies like the FTX exchange and BlockFi. I mean, how do you predict, or at least what is your sense of where the crypto market could be heading after big challenges like massive institutions just drying up?
Well, as we've seen FTX and as we've seen BlockFi file bankruptcies just here in the last month, and you've seen, the CEO running off the Bahamas, and you've seen all the investors scrambling to get their money. What's amazing about all that is Wall Street is still bullish long term on crypto. And these guys were just, as I said, irresponsible in managing their finances. And they had very, very little risk management in their companies, and you start to see that by some of their previous employees, just that they left a year and a half ago, coming out and saying that's why we left. We could see that they weren't properly managing the company. So that, so let me just kind of give you an example of what's happened since August. So all these companies have gone bankrupt. They're kind of, you can look at them like the Lehman Brothers of the world, the Bear Stearns of the world that filed bankruptcy during the financial collapse. These guys, all they were doing is lending and trading. They weren't really miners. And we're a miner. We make the coin. So let's just give you an example of some things that have happened that make me bullish. In August, BlackRock, which is, we all know, the world's largest asset manager with $8.5 trillion in funds under management, announced that it has partnered with Coinbase to allow its own institutional clients within BlackRock to access the crypto market. That was a huge step change. In October, BNY Mellon, one of the largest banks, oldest banks in the country, announced digital asset custody platform. The platform will allow their clients to hold and transfer Bitcoin and Ether. The bank decided to embrace cryptocurrency after a recent survey of nearly 300 of their institutional investors that were worldwide. It found that 91% of those investors were interested in owning tokenized products. So then in October, tech giant Google selected Coinbase to assist it in taking payments on Google with cryptocurrency. And then on November 3rd, just a month ago, Fortune reported that the retail brokerage powerhouse Fidelity, one of the largest, brokerage firms in the world, will offer crypto trading to its 35 million customers. So crypto's not going away. It's coming institutionalized. And that's what gives me comfort that it's had legs.
And that's right. It's still so early in the game for crypto. We just need more time. And speaking of time, like for time to be on Bitcoin side, like you said, it's trading around the $16, $17, $18,000 range. How much more time do you think Bitcoin would need to really get back to a more stable, or what other people outside of the space would consider a stable range?
Well, what's happened when we saw this dramatic drop from 70,000 to 17, we saw a lot of the miners that were out there that required a higher Bitcoin price because they were inefficient or they're using too expensive energy. They're gone. I mean, they have disappeared. So the inefficiencies of the miners, who are many times, Joe Blow's got 4 machines in his garage. He can't make a buck with this anymore. So it's going now to the companies like ours, where we're negotiating very cheap, long-term electricity rates with utilities and co-ops, because we have found, like we did in oil and gas business, okay, here's a substation in Timbuktu that was built for a manufacturing facility that never came, and we get the power really cheap. So we can put containers with 288 machines in each container right there and hook up into the grid. So we're doing it in a much more, I'm a big believer in having the very lowest cost possible. So based on some of our economics, we can make money down to $6,000 Bitcoin price. Now, I don't think it's going there, but when it does go to 30, 40, 50,000, we will be minting money. So that's what excites us. We're doing the smaller projects, 1 megawatt, 5 megawatt, 8 megawatt, 15 megawatt, that are not on the radar screen. And when we enter a community and put in Bitcoin machines, everybody wants it. It's not like, oh, they're taking 150 megawatts off the grid and my electricity price is going to go up. We are taking that stranded energy that is stuck, not going anywhere, and making money with it.
Wow, exciting times. Thank you so much for sharing this update on crypto and Generation Hemp. Again, the CEO of Generation Hemp, Gary Evans.
Thank you, Natalie.